What's good, everybody? My name is Gentleman Jugg,
And I'm Son.
and welcome to the Gentleman Juggcast. This is episode 21. And what movie are we talking about this time, son?
The Punisher.
The Punisher, with Thomas Jane playing Frank Castle, John Travolta as Howard Saint, Laura Herring as Livia Saint, Will Patton as Quentin Glass, Eddie Jemison as Mickey Duca. But we're not talking about that right now. What are we going to talk about?
World Wrestling.
World Wrestling Entertainment. Okay. So,
I guess we got like 2 weeks to talk about.
yeah, but, we can go ahead and talk about that. Go for it.
Okay, so I guess we'll start with last week's SmackDown.
Well,
Raw.
no. You want to talk about the week before is Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
Okay. The one where old Bill Oldberg showed up again for the first time.
Yeah.
Just
nice to see some young talent in there.
Doing it big. And I think I said this when I saw it. Seth Rollins is right.
Yeah.
And I'm getting sick and tired of all these people who are like part-timers who freaking like have been gone for a long time, come back and just cut to the front of the line and say, I'm next in the thing. I'm getting tired of that. And I agree with Seth freaking Rollins.
The drip god.
The drip god. I agree 100% because I'm getting sick and tired of seeing it.
You know what's weird is every time he's always a heel and he says something, for the most part, he's mostly right.
He's correct usually. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with you, Seth. I agree.
Because in 2019, when he first turned heel, he said, I had to turn heel because you guys weren't happy. I beat Brock Lesnar twice and no one cared.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he's mostly right.
He's right. That's how you get good villains. Those that you're like, I get it. And that there's always like a hero out there, like you gotta be beaten up because of what reason? It's like, but you understand, I beat Brock Lesnar twice. This guy doesn't freaking stay around with the championship belt. He has the belt, and then our next biggest title is either the US or the Intercontinental Championship belt. And that's it. And now everybody's chasing that freaking belt around, and no one's chasing around the freaking the championship belt.
Yeah.
At least I see Roman Reigns every son of a bitch week.
Yeah.
He's just there. About. Same thing with Bobby Lashley. So whatever. Oldberg showed up.
And he said, I'm next, but like he screamed it so loud, like it just cut out.
I just never felt that Goldberg could ever, do promos very well. But that's in my opinion. I'm pretty sure some people sit there and think that in their opinion, he's great at promos, but not to me. No. He came back, and boy, you weren't around when Goldberg first came out. He was awesome. He was great. As far as a character that you wanted to watch, it was great. I loved it.
But now,
it's not that he's so old he can't do it, because he clearly can do it. It's just, I don't care. That's what it is. I don't give two shits. I don't care. I'm tired of seeing him. He's contracted to be here for 2 matches a year, from how I understand it. So he's back here to sit here and lose to Bobby Lashley.
Hopefully.
Can you imagine if this asshole wins?
If you can beat, I guess the now released Fiend, then maybe you could beat Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, well, you've been waiting for a while to talk about Fiend being released, huh?
Yeah.
That's all you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Look, I could see the writing on the wall. The dude hadn't been on TV since WrestleMania, and before that, he hadn't been on TV for like an additional few months before that. So, his last thing that we saw was Randy Orton setting him on fire. Then he was gone until WrestleMania,
where he lost to one RKO.
Where he lost to an RKO, and then he was gone again. So, you can usually see the writing on the wall. If they're not using you on TV for anything, you're probably about to be on your way out. And that's what it seemed like. And if you're not injured, then that's the thing. And he wasn't injured. He was just doing whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Reginald managed to get the 24/7 championship away from R-Truth. And I like R-Truth, or K-Quick as he was known before that. But I like R-Truth, but I really am sick and tired of seeing 24/7. But when I saw Reggie, as they want to call him now, with the freaking belt, actually doing stuff with it, they're having matches in the ring
with it.
Yeah, with the belt. And I'm like, well, look, I mean, I like that, but to me now the belt is no different than the IC championship belt or the USA championship belt.
Yeah.
Because you can defend those on Raw and SmackDown too. So, all they're doing is just letting us see Reggie freaking, flip around in the ring, which, look, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not against it. I like it, but it's like, can we do something else? Can't he just have regular matches? But whatever,
Can he serve wine to everyone again?
Yeah. Sasha Banks is back.
Yeah, on SmackDown.
Yeah. And she came back just in time to turn heel again. And I'm all for it. I'm down. Her being a heel, I think she's better at that than being a face, which I like. There are some people who are really good at being heels, and people who are really good at being faces. People who are good at being heels, like Randy Orton, The Miz,
Roman Reigns.
Didn't see it coming from Roman Reigns, but he's great at it.
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins is great at being a heel. He's much better as a heel to me than he is a face. And there are people that are just really good at being faces.
Like Drew?
Like Drew. I mean, but Drew's good at being a face and a heel, though.
Yeah.
I
guess Edge.
I liked him when he was a heel more than when he was a face, because right now he seems like he's a face. But I don't know. I like heels more because they actually get to be more interesting. Faces are usually the same person no matter who the hell they are.
So like, I have passion. I will work really hard for this. I'm a fighting champion.
Yeah, because I remember when faces back in the day when I was growing up, what did faces do? They usually just talk trash. They never really pandered to the crowd that often. The Rock would sit there and talk trash about somebody. Stone Cold Steve Austin would talk trash about somebody, but he never sat there and said, I'm doing it for all the people. I'm doing it for this. I'm doing it for that. There's like, I'm doing it because I need to whip your ass. Okay? It's like, food for me. I need to whip your ass. And now faces just are the same person over and over. Drew McIntyre seems to be the only person to kind of get around that and not pander to the people as much.
Yeah, he's more like, I'm gonna beat them up. I mean, I'll get the people a little bit, but I'm really here to beat you up.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want to see. I don't even know what's going on with that.
Well, basically with Drew is that so after, I guess, now that they're in the building, he attacked one of Jinder Mahal's those, how every heel has like those goons with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he hit him like 15 times with a chair. And then the next week, this current Raw, he was fighting them in like a handicap match. Of course, he won. Well, he didn't win. There was a DQ, and they tried to surround him. So he grabs his sword out and he like swings it and hits one of the chairs out of their hands, and they run away.
I thought it was made from a Loch Ness monster tooth. Why didn't it cut the chair in half?
I don't know. But he was scaring them off with his sword. And then we get backstage and he shows them, he's like, I wish I would have cut their head off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
You wanted to murder somebody is what you wanted to do.
That's what he says. Like, I wish I would have cut their head off.
It's fine. I mean, look, I like to watch wrestling because there's a lot of goofy shit. Shit like what's going on with Alexa Bliss. Now if the Fiend is there, Now the Fiend is no longer there. She just kind of just took over. And look, she's good at promoing. She's good at wrestling. But I'm not feeling this character. I'm really not. And the more that they keep doing it, the more I'm like, I'm not feeling it.
I keep laughing at it.
It's just, it gets more and more ridiculous as time goes on. And I'm just like, I'm not into it. I'm not into it. You can have it. You can do whatever you want to with it. If you like it, boy, if y'all like it out there listening, hey, that's great. But I think it's absolute horse shit.
I just think it's kind of funny. That's why I like it, because it keeps making me laugh.
It's just ridiculous because she's fighting Eva Marie and Dewdrop.
Yeah. And they knocked her off the swing and they kicked the doll over. And then one of them picks up the doll. I think Eva Marie picks up the doll. She's like, "You're uglier in person." And then drops it on the floor.
I saw the doll and I was like, please don't stand up, doll. And the doll stood up. I'm like, you have got to be shitting me.
So
this is what's going on. This is what passes for wrestling now, is this stupid shit. But it's like a lot of the things that Alexa Bliss could do in the ring, she could do because they were in the performance center and you could just do the goofy shit in the ring. But now it's a live crowd. You can't do too much goofy shit. Like, you remember WrestleMania when, like, normally I could see this on WrestleMania. What they would have done is they would have sat there and edited it to where, she would have shown up from something, outrageously crazy or whatever. But what ended up happening, though, is that they had to freaking roll a giant fucking box, a present, or whatever the fuck it was, down to the ring. It had to sit in the ring. And then she had to freaking disappear while the match was going on just so that she could come up and look like whatever the hell she was looking like.
Yeah, all covered in goo.
Yeah. It's like, you can't sit there and, pretend like you're doing magic tricks when the fucking people are there.
So, like, let's just put in the playground backstage.
Yeah, let's put the playground backstage, and we'll just do that shit.
So that's, I guess, every segment's now just going to be in that playground with people beating her up and the doll doing something.
Yeah, and what is it going to sit there and freaking scare Eva Marie and Dewdrop like it did Shayna Baszler?
It was kind of funny.
Where the fuck is Shayna Baszler at?
Well, I mean, she was on Raw, but she just wasn't wrestling. She was just standing there.
Yeah, so, like, nothing happened to her?
I guess that feud's just done.
Yeah, well, so is the romance with Nia Jackson and Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie's got to move on to more. He's got to move on to the 24/7 title.
Well,
now.
He left her and became champion, so that's got to be a testament to his relationship with her.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I left you, I became a champion. Okay, so you're holding me back. I'm a high value man. Okay, but I don't know. I don't even know what's going on with the women's tag championships. I mean, like, up until WrestleMania, everything was interesting, and now I don't know what the hell's going on.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, I am liking watching the USA title stuff that's going on. That's pretty cool. I dig that.
Yeah, with Sheamus and all.
Yeah, Sheamus, Rick O'Shea. What is Humberto still there?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it's Richard O'Shea, Umberto, and Sheamus, and there's one more cat out there.
Hopefully none of them get released.
Yeah, I'm actually warming more up to Omos.
Yeah.
He seems like he's actually kind of being the monster that Braun Strowman was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of into that. I'm digging it. I'm digging it a lot, actually.
I'm like, all right, let's see some more.
Yeah, let's see some more. Let's get the freaking tag belt off of him, because I don't know where the hell AJ Styles is.
Probably hanging out with Randy Orton.
Probably, but whatever. Those titles won't change anytime soon, as long as Omos is holding a belt, and that's not the WWE belt.
I mean, they could always have Omos try and go after Sheamus.
They could have Omos really go after anybody. He's actually doing pretty good, in my opinion. I like Omos. I didn't like him when he first came out. It just seemed so stiff, but everybody has first match jitters. Whatever. I can deal with that, but he's actually freaking, I'm liking it. I'm liking it,
I was like, I'm kind of like, let's see where he goes.
Yeah, let's see where he goes from here.
Like,
hopefully he just keeps doing better.
Yeah.
But then after that, I got SmackDown. They made my dreams come true. Okay, I said it many times. I wanted to see all three, the Usos and Roman Reigns, holding their blue belts on SmackDown while Roman Reigns' music is playing, and I saw that, and now I'm good.
Now I'm like, okay, Paul Heyman,
yeah,
here's your title.
He holds Roman Reigns'. That's what he does. That's where his title is, And so that's why I'm happy. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I am really happy now. I've seen what I wanted to see. All right. And then John Cena came back, and at first I thought Finn Balor was going to do it because I was like, yes, Finn Balor fighting Roman Reigns. I want to see that.
I'm like, that would be good.
That is going to be awesome. I want to see that. But no. John Cena came back, and he's now going to be fighting Roman Reigns at SummerSlam because, as Seth Rollins has said, all these legends or people that don't show up often just come back and go right to the front of the line. And that's exactly what John Cena did. He came back and decided to go right to the front of the line.
What's funny is that when Finn Balor's about to sign it, he gets attacked by, Corbin, but I'm calling him Hobo Corbin.
Yeah, Hobo Corbin.
That's what I'm calling him. And then, yeah, so I guess he's supposed to fight Finn Balor.
That pisses me off because I wanted to see Roman Reigns fight Finn Balor. Finn Balor is the first Universal Champion, and I would love to see him go up against Roman Reigns and let that be the story.
Yeah.
That's what I thought we were going to see. But then this horse shit happened where freaking, Hobo Corbin comes out and freaking messes with Finn Balor. Now they're going to have a freaking fight against each other, Finn Balor and Hobo Corbin. And John Cena is now going to fight Roman Reigns, which is pissing me off because Seth Rollins, again, is right.
Seth Rollins is just right.
How do you get to come back out of nowhere and freaking, just ask for the title, the championship match, and you get it? And then how is this even fair? Can you just sit there and walk up to the front and just sign your name on the fucking contract and now it's right? That does not work in real life.
If that was like how it's supposed to work, I'm surprised no one else did that. Because there's some people.
It's never happened before. So that means that going forward,
you can just do
whenever they do these live contract signings, I should be able to see that every time. Somebody just come out, this should be like another Money in the Bank kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Somebody just runs out, beats up the freaking guy who's going to sign it, and then they sign it. And what was Roman Reigns doing? Just sitting there, letting this happen.
He's like, I don't care.
He's just sitting there looking mad at the head of the table. And I'm like, Roman, what is the hell's going on? You're better than this. You don't want to fight John Cena. We know that. Okay. You wanted to fight Finn Balor. Go stop John Cena. Are you just going to sit there?
He's like, yeah.
He just sat there.
This chair's kind of comfortable.
So it's a nice chair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't down with that, but whatever.
Just beat John Cena, Roman. And then we can get you versus Finn Balor, hopefully.
Yeah, I'd like to see that, but I think what's going to happen is that, John Cena and Roman Reigns are going to fight for a good while. And then Survivor Series is when The Rock shows up to take on Roman Reigns.
And then after,
or he shows up to be mad at Roman Reigns so they can fight at WrestleMania. That's what I'm guessing.
I'm sure after WrestleMania, sometime a few months after, that's when they'll decide to get Roman off the title.
I assume that Roman Reigns will lose at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know because I don't know any wrestler that's had the title for 2 years. Right? He was the championship. He won the championship last year around this time.
Yeah.
Okay, from The Fiend.
And Braun Strowman.
Yeah, The Fiend and Braun Strowman. And then he freaking went all the way around through WrestleMania back to this point where it's now been almost a year of him having the belt. Okay. And then to imagine that he's going to sit there and go all the way into next WrestleMania, the champion. Look, I'm not done with seeing him be champion. But if he were to lose the belt, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. You gave me what I wanted, which was to see him and the Usos with the belt. So,
My only problem is like, so who's supposed to beat him though?
I don't think it matters as long as you believe it that person could do it, and then what's the story going to be going on after that?
Yeah, I guess that's the real question. Like, what is he supposed to do when he loses? He's not the head of the table anymore.
Yeah.
Don't make him put the vest back on and be like, I'm a good guy now.
Yeah, my name is not Joe anymore. Or whatever the fuck he does. I don't know. I'm into the whole story. I just want to see where it goes. I guess we gotta wait till this Friday.
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm down.
Besides that, the other story, I'm kind of interested to see what Seth Rollins and Edge do.
I'm actually also interested in seeing what freaking Nikki AS whatever the fuck her letters are, and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
I look, my problem was never with Charlotte Flair. I never had a problem with Charlotte Flair. I don't even have a problem with Rhea Ripley. I just didn't want to see them fight each other again. And it's the classic I'm better than you type of thing where a character freaking, puts down another character who's freaking trying hard. And look, I'm not a sucker for those stories. I don't mind them, but I'm actually interested in seeing what they do. Or is it going to be the same shit? It's probably going to be the same shit. But, I'm interested to see it.
Yeah.
So. And once again, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. I want to see that too. I think that's going to be a good match, maybe for SummerSlam. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. Since Bayley can't be, provided for, then let Sasha Banks do it. Who, between you and me, I think Sasha Banks is far more beautiful than Carmella.
Yeah.
I think so, but that's my opinion. So I don't know why Carmella keeps saying she's the most beautiful girl in WWE. She is beautiful, but I think Sasha Banks is more beautiful. So I'm just putting that out there. In any case, that's all I got about wrestling.
Yeah.
You got nothing else?
No, I mean, maybe if I watched NXT, I'm going to start watching NXT again, though.
You know what? We've been saying that for I don't know, months, and I still have yet to turn on NXT.
See, my thing is I can watch I watch every once in a while. I don't watch it every week. I want to watch it every week, but I only do it once in a while.
You just turn it on and sit there and watch what's the dude's name who's fighting Keith Lee?
Karrion Kross.
Yeah. Watching him sit there and freaking struggle and on SmackDown or Raw or whatever.
Then on NXT, he's a
completely
monster.
Different person.
It's just funny on Raw. He just doesn't even seem important. They didn't even mention he's NXT champion on Raw.
He just walks on the Raw and then he fights somebody and then they have a little beef. And I'm like, but yet you're on NXT as the champ.
Yeah, on NXT, they actually treat you like a monster.
I don't know. I don't know how he is on NXT. I haven't been watching it, so I say I should, but I probably won't.
On NXT, he beat Finn Balor twice. And then, he's fighting Samoa Joe, and he beat Samoa Joe.
Yeah, like I say, I should watch it. I should be watching it. I'm not. I'm just not. I don't know what to tell you on that. I don't know what to say. I have no excuse. I should be watching it. I'm not watching it. So
I just show up every once in a while, and that's really it.
There you go. But other than that, though, it's fine. But like I said, that's all I got for wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, and besides, the crowd on Raw kept chanting, "We want Wyatt," and CM Punk chants.
Yeah, well, CM Punk's on AEW, so as far as the rumor, either the rumors are correct or this is a real story. But CM Punk should be on AEW,
and so is Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, so. And if they get Bray Wyatt, which they can't have him for another 3 months, but if they get Bray Wyatt, I think WWE's going to have some problems.
Yeah. Now Vince McMahon won't be saying they're not competition anymore.
Yeah, it's no, you can't compete for a year. It's I guess you're paying me for a year then, aren't you? So, but whatever. But what I got next is our topic of discussion, the movie, The Punisher. Now, I already went over everybody who's in the movie. So, what'd you think?
I think it's okay.
You thought it was good?
Yeah.
Now, for me, this is my second Punisher movie. I think there's 3 Punisher movies. I think the third one is called Warzone, starring a guy who looks like comic book Punisher, but this is not comic book Punisher. I mean, it is comic book Punisher, but he doesn't look like comic book Punisher, at least not at this time. So the movie came out in 2004. You were busy being born that year, so
Yeah.
but it's no big deal. During this time, though, it's like Marvel's really trying to hit their stride when it comes to making movies. Like they've been putting out, like a bunch of movies all at once. Boom, 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 boom. Still 4 more years until Iron Man comes out. So and the actual MCU starts.
Yeah.
Okay. So when watching this movie, the very beginning of this movie starts off at it's basically Frank Castle is doing a drug deal, and during this drug deal, he's like undercover, and the drug deal apparently goes south, and the drug lord from Howard Saint, he ends up his son ends up dying.
Oof.
Yeah, whoops. Now, of course, John Travolta's like, he gets pissed off later, but Frank's like, I'm retiring. So he goes to retire. Apparently, he's been neglecting his wife and his son for a while. And so finally, he's like, it's over. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to relax now for forever. And during that time, John Travolta's character, Howard Saint, who actually isn't even a freaking character in the comics.
Oh.
He's not. He's just, some guy they created for the show or for the movie. Why couldn't they have used Jigsaw?
Or Howard the Duck.
That's who you wanted to see in the Punisher movie?
Yeah.
Howard the Duck.
See, Howard Saint could have ripped his rubber mask off and been like, it's me, Howard the Duck.
Yeah, he could have said that, but he didn't say that.
No.
So if you know the story of the Punisher, which you should, his whole entire family was murdered. Now, in the cartoons, it's in the cartoon and in the comics and stuff like that, it's really just his wife and son. That's it. In the Daredevil show, he has, 2 kids and they also die. But here it's like the whole Castle family
is dead.
And the reason why they're all dead is because Howard Saint's wife, Livia Saint, said, I want the whole family. So they killed everybody, the whole family, everyone dies. And then they try to go kill Frank Castle, but surprise, surprise, he's alive.
What's funny is it's just stupid what they did. They put him on like this area near water, and they put explosives around him, and they're like, well, instead of shooting him in the head, we're gonna blow it up and hope that he doesn't roll into the water before it explodes.
Well, I mean, I assume that they thought that blowing him up would do the job.
I mean, maybe
more aggressively than shooting him in the head.
I mean, I would have just shot him in the head and then blown it up.
They shot him in the chest, so I guess they thought he was dead. They're like, oh, he's not going to survive that. But then they blew it up, and he survived the explosion. So I don't know what to tell you on that one. I don't know what to tell you. But we'll keep talking about it here in a sec. Hey, you guys, sorry to stop here in the middle of whatever fantastic point that I was about to make about whatever it is you're listening to. But I got to talk to you about this week's sponsor, Anchor FM. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Look, I've been doing this podcast for probably about a little while. And this app is actually very, very, very easy to use. It's been a lot of fun for me and Son to sit there and record. So why don't you get started with anchor.fm. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Now back to the podcast. So, like you say, he gets blown up. He survives the explosion.
What's funny is that one of the people look out into the water to make sure he's dead, and he's able to go under the water without even turning around, and he knows the guy's looking there. And when the guy looks away, he comes up just at the right time. He's like, see, I knew.
He's like, I knew he was going to leave. So, whatever, fine. Guy gets him, helps him nurse himself back to health, and then apparently it's like a couple months later, he gets back to the city. I'm assuming that's Chicago. I don't remember what they said, what city it was. It could be Chicago, New York. It could be anywhere, really. I don't remember what it was. But the deal is that what Howard Saint is that he is he's a distributor, basically. You need your money to get from point A to point B. He will get your money from point A to point B. You know, you need to get your guns or your drugs or whatever from point A to point B. They will get there. Okay, fine. And so Frank Castle starts messing with his shit. And then they kind of figure out, oh, it's Frank Castle. How come you guys didn't kill him? That mistakes were made. So, so the whole movie is really like, John Travolta's character getting pressure from the people that he talks to, the people he rubs shoulders with, of him trying to sit there and, get back at them. Meanwhile, what's the Punisher's plan?
I'm going to kill everyone.
He's like, I want everybody to die, but I want you to do it. I want you to kill your people. I want you to freaking kill your wife. I want to make your wife sit there and think. I'm going to make you think that your wife is cheating on you with your head of security. But before all this was going down, they sent a bunch of assassins over to go kill the Punisher.
Yeah.
The first guy actually it wasn't even a bunch. It was like two. It was like two assassins. The first guy was Harry Heck, who is a Punisher villain, and he is on the comics. Named Harry Heck. Exactly that. Doesn't look like that guy did, but Punisher had been messing with his, I believe it was a Pontiac GTO Judge. He had been messing with that, making it bulletproof, making it able to withstand, gunfire, all that shit. And then Harry Heck freaking, attacks him. And, he kills him with a freaking knife that shoots out, the blade shoots out of the handle.
Yeah.
Which it's cool. I would have been shocked by that too. If somebody would have sat there and pulled a knife out when I had a gun, I'm like, you stupid son of a bitch, and then the blade shoots at me. I'm like, okay, really? And so, but whatever. I thought that was great. And then he gets to fight the next guy who is known simply as the Russian, who also is a Punisher villain, played by Kevin Nash.
Yeah. See, this one, he just burst into his apartment. He's like, "Hey, buddy."
He didn't say a word. He just came in and just beat his ass.
Yeah, and then while they're doing that, they're just playing some weird music.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that this scene is like super long because they're just playing the music while Punisher's getting beat up over and over and over again.
It's hilarious to me because like all the extra characters, like I guess Punisher's supposed love interest, and the other friends that are there. What is his name? The other one is played by this guy named Ben Foster, who is playing the character Spacker Dave. And then John Panette, the comedian, he's playing a character called Bumpo. I forget the woman's name. Her name escapes me, which is, I guess it's not important, but whatever. Everybody's sitting there watching as this goes down. While or they're not watching while this goes down, they're actually sitting there making dessert because they just had lunch with him, and he's back there fighting the Russian on the full stomach, getting his ass whipped and so on and so forth. Finally, the commotion actually jumps into the freaking I guess that would be the girl's apartment.
Yeah.
And, he finally kills the Russian. Once that's done, though, there's plenty of action here, but it just feels so. It feels so average.
I've been spoiled by the Punisher show, just like the Daredevil movie. I was spoiled by the Daredevil show, so I'm used to seeing the Punisher put someone's face into a mirror, or walk with a drill in his foot.
Yeah, just be super hardcore. Take out an entire room of bad guys.
Or when he gets hit with a drill, he's like, "Come on,
do it!" Which I'm like, I like that Punisher. I don't know why I like that Punisher, but I would watch. If they would keep making more seasons of that show, I don't even give a damn if Disney doesn't make it. I want more seasons of that show. Okay, because that shit was on fire. I loved it.
Especially the first season, though.
First season was great, but then his first time being in Daredevil was great too.
Yeah.
Like you say, the drill to the foot, just he's like, yeah, just like, do it. Oh yeah. And I'm like, fuck, dude, you and this fucking thing. Holy shit. He's like, yeah. It was great. It was great.
And then even after that, when he gets freed, he just gets up and starts walking and killing people.
Like he didn't just have a drill in his foot.
He just starts walking around. He's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, I can do this. I'm good. And I'll just continue doing the rest of the freaking show, having a drill in my foot.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not even going to go see a doctor for this. I'm not seeing a doctor for this. So
he didn't.
He did not.
He's like, whatever.
And then of course we're getting sidetracked. We're talking about something much better. This movie, The Punisher, the action to me is very average, and it was average when I saw it. Now, look, I will say this. Thomas Jane is good at playing Frank Castle, okay? I don't hate him for playing Frank Castle, okay? But the movie that he's in to me, is very average.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. 2004 had happened. We'd seen plenty of freaking movies where, things were being destroyed on, a huge scale. Many of them were Marvel movies. Some of them were DC movies, and other action movies that had come out at the time, So to sit here and watch this on the street level, just like, where did all the money go? How come the action isn't bigger?
Yeah.
Why is it that I feel more for the Daredevil, second season when the Punisher shows up? Why do I like that Punisher character way more than this one?
Yeah, plus that one, he was only a few episodes, and I was like, where's his show? When I first saw that, I'm like, where is his show?
Yeah, and then his show came out.
I'm like, where's the rest of the seasons?
Yeah, we need more. So the very end, of course, John Travolta, he ends up, it's not even John, his name is
Howard the Duck.
Howard Saint. He's tricked into killing his wife. He's tricked into killing his head of security. They're both confused, and they do a good job at looking confused.
As he kills them.
Yeah, as he kills them. And then after that, it's basically, they're dead. And, since he knows Frank Castle's coming for him, the next step for him is to, go and try to see if he can set up defenses at his house and wait for Frank Castle to show up, which he does. And here's the thing. They know he's coming. No one has security cameras out there to sit there and get him a mile from where he's coming from.
No.
So he easily walks in there, infiltrates everybody, and, stealth kills everybody. And he eventually gets to Howard Saint himself.
Yeah.
And what does he end up doing? He ends up freaking, I guess he had this plan at the very beginning where he said every single one of Howard Saint's cars, armed him with bombs.
Yeah, and he tied Howard Saint to a car and then just drove
Just let the car drive itself into all the bombs, which I'm like, I'm looking at him like the explosions are happening next to him, so he's not dying, and maybe it looks epic, but whatever, but he's not dying. And then finally a car explodes and lands on him. Like, oh, he's dead there, and then when you pan out, all the cars sit there and look like the Punisher symbol that are on fire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
So
that's a comic book thing. It doesn't, for me, those kind of things don't play well on camera.
Yeah.
Like when Batman sits there and freaking puts like his entire bat symbol on the on a wall so that everybody can see that he's back. I'm like, you've spent forever doing that.
It's funny. It's like that bomb that you're saying we don't have time to take it out. He's like, I know, but I got to paint the symbol on the wall.
Yeah. Like I kicked all these guys' asses by the subway, but I got to sit here and freaking write, 2 D's and freaking in lighter fluid, just so that somebody can sit there and say, he's here. And then, throw the freaking shit all over. What if somebody had stepped on those perfectly formed D's, and then just ruined the whole illusion?
And Batman like, guess we're starting over, guys.
But why is Daredevil, who can't see, writing D's in the ground? Okay, so why is Punisher sitting there freaking like? Are you sitting there telling me that no one saw him sit there and arm all these freaking cars to look like a Punisher symbol?
What's funny is how so they're all waiting for all the security. So is he just sitting out in the parking lot that whole time when they're talking inside?
Just freaking loading cars up with bombs.
And then he finally comes inside, like, okay, you guys can attack me now.
Yeah. Of course he does kill everybody there and it's all dead. And then you finally get the last scene where he sits there and says, I'm the Punisher and I punished them or something like that. I forgot what he said.
No, every superhero movie has to have that at least once.
Well, at that time it did.
Yeah.
At that time, every single superhero had to have an outer monologue when they leave the movie. When
we reviewed that other Hulk movie where he's like, you don't like me when I'm angry.
That wasn't an outer monologue. It wasn't saying something like, so now I am on the run, from the government that tries to use me as a weapon and so on and so forth. He's not, that wasn't that. He was just like, saying something goofy. I don't know. The movie ends and that's pretty much it. There's no extra scene here, but I watched this movie and I wasn't bored. It wasn't a boring movie. I don't want you to sit there and think that, people, but
it wasn't like Hulk.
It wasn't like The Incredible Hulk, which was boring, which felt like work to watch. And this movie was just average to me. I give it a 3.
I give it a 3, I guess. Yeah.
It's just average. It's just average to me. There is really no reason. Look, we wanted to see a Punisher movie. We got a Punisher movie, and it was better than the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie. So look, it's fine. I don't hate the movie. I just don't love it. And I don't ever have to watch it again now.
Yeah, now I'll just watch the Punisher show again.
I'd much rather watch the Punisher show, season 1 and 2, and all of season 2 of Daredevil where the Punisher's there. That shit was fucking great. It's epic. More than epic, but I loved it. So like I said, that's a 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah. What are you playing now, boy?
Well, we're playing Tomb Raider.
You're playing Tomb Raider. I'm not playing Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I'm playing Tomb Raider.
Okay, how's that going?
It's fine. I think I'm almost done.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I finished with Spider-Man, Miles Morales. All the videos, probably by the time this comes out, will probably be up.
So are all the... What about some of the Star Wars ones are there?
I got a lot of... Star Wars is a... Jedi Fallen Order is a long game. It is very long. Look, and I get that putting out an hour-long video would be great, but it's easier for me at the time right now to edit 10 to 15 minute videos of this game. And it's a long game. And I got like 5 hours left to go. That's probably like 50 more videos of Star Wars. 30 to 50 more videos, depending on how quickly I can get through them. And it's a lot. It is a whole lot. So I got to add more games to my repertoire because I got or my rotation because I'm done with Spider-Man. So
Avengers time.
I think I'm gonna have to get back into Avengers. Play some more Dragon Ball Fighters. I like that. So
I like it, but I'm out of practice.
Yes, you are. But I'll figure it out. I mean, there's nothing really out that's really been like, you got to play this, Jug.
It's not until God of War 5.
Yeah, whenever that comes out next year, probably, hopefully. But we'll see. We'll see. But hey, check out all the stuff that we have on YouTube. Gentleman Jug at YouTube. Instagram is also Gentleman Jug. Twitter is also Gentleman Jug. I keep it real original here. YouTube's been doing a lot better. I can tell you that.
Well, now I can say I'm not biased because I've been in the videos now.
Yeah, you've been in a couple of them.
I've been in a couple of them, so I can't be biased anymore.
Handful.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode. It's a short one because, the Punisher is average. There's nothing really I could talk about that I loved. I like it. I just didn't love it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call this an episode. Thanks for checking out the Gentleman Juggcast, and we'll see you on the next one
when it's ready.